Hello fellow colorists, welcome back to the channel, JI Colorist. My name is Jody, and in today's video we are continuing our series in coloring the animals of the Zodiac. It is February 2024, and there are actually 5 spirit animals represented by the Aquarius, which I had no idea about. So I will link the in the video description the website that shows the different ones, but the 5 spirit animals are a cockatoo, a dolphin, a zebra, an otter, and an owl. So I am going to be doing 2 of those this month, and we are going to be doing a page from Secret Worlds, which is a coloring book by Stephanie Law. Now these are very detailed pages. They've got just a ton going on. They do also include those annoying little hidden treasure objects within the page, and I'm really not into those items. So what I have done is gone ahead and gotten rid of those. So I will roll a little bit of video here showing you what the page looked like to start and how I got rid of those objects. I thought before we tackled the actual owls, I would do some of the background to get that out of the way. I also really do not like hidden objects, so I looked at this page and there was a number of hidden objects that just don't belong. Like, it's a night scene and we have butterflies flying around, so that's out of here. We have a Christmas ornament hanging here. We have a mouse with a teacup and a castle. So I left items that look like birdhouses that could be in a tree, but things that just didn't belong, like a rocking horse, a book, I want those out of here. So in order to make that happen, I took a Derwent Inktense white block and I painted over those items in white. And I did that before I do a background of Arrtx paint pens so that they are lighter and they're more easily covered. The white in the Inktense block is more opaque than the white in the pencil, and that is according to Lacrete Fine Art YouTube channel. So I thought I would give that a go and see if it worked. It did white them out quite well, and yeah, so I'm going to give that a go. I am going to use my Arrtx acrylic markers. I have not used them for quite some time, and I definitely haven't used them on a full background before, so wish me luck. I've got the black and a few colors of gray. I only have the 36 pastel set, so if I like the markers I may invest in some more, but until I start using them enough to justify the purchase, I'm just going to use what I have. All right, wish me luck. Okay, in order to preserve the border that is somewhat around these pages, I'm going to use some washi taping. I'm just going to go over the areas that I painted. I'm not going to scrub because I don't want to disturb that. Okay, that did quite well. You could use, I guess, a permanent marker if you didn't have a paint pen. So that's how that's going to go. I will continue on with this, and I'll be back when we've made some progress. Okay, here is how the picture is looking after I have done a coat of the Arrtx black, and I also used a couple of different grays to put in some clouds and a little bit of gray around the moon. I did wipe out a few items that I am not interested in, and a lot of these are so fine detailed in area size. I plan on using Pitt artist pens likely, and some paint. We will definitely be doing the owls together, as the owl is February's birth animal for the Zodiac, and so look forward to that. Okay, now that we've gotten rid of those objects and I've started the page, I have continued on the page, and I completed the rest of the image. So I've done the foliage, the background, the little houses. So I left 3 houses there. There was a large castle here that I got rid of I also got rid of some items that were down here and up here. So now we're just left with what is a reasonable amount of items on this page. And I have used so far the Pitt artist pens for the tree. I have used, and the green foliage. For the pine cones here, I used 3 different colors of PolyChromos, and then on top I used Treasure Gold acrylic paint. So that is this, and I did that in the light areas on here so that when you move the page, hopefully you are able to pick up some of that. So what is left on the page to do are our 2 owls. So what I have done is search the internet a little bit first to kind of figure out what type of owls these are, because there are many different owl varieties, and I wanted to make sure I was coloring them appropriately. You know me, I'm an accountant and I deal mostly in realism. So let me zoom you down, and I will also show on screen some pictures of how I want these owls to look. So these owls, really the shape of the face is what I was looking for in the owl pictures online to ensure that I had kind of the right picture. They don't have to be exactly the same, but I wanted to get an understanding of what kind of colors are on an owl and where the light and the dark feathers kind of happen. So I'm sure that this is not exactly the right owl, but this is the colors that I have chosen. We're going to go with cream, white, and a few shades of brown, and hopefully that ends up looking decent. Now, there are a lot of feathers floating down here, so they are tiny. So what will happen is probably they'll end up being more gestures of colors rather than detailed feathers, because there's just no way to get fine detail in something that's just, you know, super tiny. So let's get my materials out and we will get started on this page. Okay, pulling out a few PolyChromos pencils. I have selected white 101, so I'll just put a little swatch here. So obviously white is hard to see. Ivory 103, ochre 182, bistre 187, and then Van Dyke Brown 176. So those are going to be my 5 base colors, and I will possibly bring in some more. If I do, I'll add them to the list and write them down, but those are the colors I'm going to be working with. So let's maybe start with the easier owl, or what I'm hoping is the easier owl, and that's the one that's sitting prone and just looking straight at us. So maybe I'll drop the camera just a little bit so you're closer. I'm going to start, I've already done the eyes and the beak, and I did that before I kind of selected what kind of owl I did. And so I've got yellow eyes and glossy accents already on the eyes here, as I have blue eyes and glossy accents on those eyes. And I just wanted to do that in case I need to bring this away with me. I'm still filming this in January, and I'll be away from most of my supplies for 2 months. So that is where we've started. I've also got all of my PolyChromos are well loved and quite stubby. So 3 of them are already on pencil extenders, and we will just continue on. I'm going to start off with a light overall cream colored. So this is the ivory, sorry, not cream. And the owl underneath the feathers will have like white and ivory colored feathers, so that's why I'm starting there. And then we're going to go to our bistre, which is our medium brown color, and I'm gonna just start putting in some strokes around here. I've got sharp pencil just going to do around the very edge. And also, I'm going to use my light brown, the ochre. I'm going to go around the eye a bit. Okay. And also a little bit around the beak. Now, I'm going to go back around. So we had a darker, the bistre. Now, just going to put a little bit of lighter brown around short strokes to imitate feathers. I'm going to come back to the cream and I'm going to do his whole head in cream. I'm just doing that so that underneath there is color. So when I do strokes to imitate feathers, there still is not stark white of the paper underneath. And I'm going to take my mid brown again. Very short. You need your sharp pencil. I'm going to do some straight little strokes to imitate the feathers. Not covering everything, so I'm leaving that cream showing underneath. Darkening up some of these lines. Zoom you in a little bit more. And that's all we're going to do for that area for now. We can come back to it, but let's focus a little bit more on the rest of the bird. So I'll zoom you down a little bit. Still have my picture in front of me. The spots that are showing, I'm going to make those the white. So I'm going to go ahead and skip anywhere where there's an outline of a feather. And I'm going to leave those white, and I'm going to color the rest of the area ivory. Now we will be covering up this ivory color with the browns. Some items will, some of the paper will show underneath, so that is why I'm doing this layer. Okay, I have taken my bistre, which is my mid color. I'm going to come and start coloring in the feathers. That was the bistre, then my Van Dyke brown. I'm going to come and put it right at the start of each feather, so kind of like where there is shadow because there's feathers on top. And my lighter brown, and then we're going to leave the tips white. Mixing kind of all three browns at the bottom. Short strokes, leaving some of the cream color showing through. So the bird is described as upper parts are brown with molting and the tail is brown with white bars. Okay, along the bottom here, I'm starting to add some detail to the feathers to give them the striping that I want. So I've started with the Van Dyke Brown and penciled in some of the V, and now I'm going in with my second color, which is Bister, and just continuing on, making it a little bit of a banded area and white is on the bottom. And I'm always going in the up and down strokes that I would imagine feathers would be, and if there's any thing showing underneath, that's fine, because there is the cream colored underneath. And then I'm going to come in with the lighter color, bit of a V to give it some bit of texture, and also to show the ribbed effect. Okay, then we're going to have another band of white, kind of putting this down to kind of be a resist more than the actual color. And I'll go back to my Van Dyke Brown. And next color is the Bister. And if you don't think the ridges, after you've got the colors down, come in and just do some more defined lines. I like how that's looking. Have the white here. I do think that I'll probably come in though with the bleed proof white to make it the white stand out even more, but we'll see. Okay, let's take a look at its face, and I'm going to come in with my really sharp, just add a few short strokes around its eyes to darken up just a little bit around its eyes. Okay, let me zoom you out a little bit and you can see how it's looking. Let's add a little bit of the bleed proof white, and I'm going to use an extremely small paintbrush. So this is a 10/0 paintbrush, very tiny, and just using the amount in the top of the, just going to come in adding a few white feathers along here to lighten this area up a bit. And then these areas here, okay, that's where we're going to leave it. I'll let that dry, and I will start working on our second owl. Okay, we are going to concentrate on our flying owl now, and we have a different angle of what I am going with as the same owl. So I'm still going to be doing the same color palette as I had with the other one. This time we have some claws showing, and the underside. So the underside of the owl is going to be lighter. So I'm going to again start with my ivory color, and I'm going to go ahead and put a base layer of ivory over the pretty much the whole owl, skipping all of the white spots, which I am going to retain as a white area. Then we'll come back and I've already done the claws. I did the claws in a green gold 268 and our darkest Van Dyke brown 176. So that's the claws there, and the green gold was just underneath to show that it wasn't just a one block of color. Okay, so let me finish the ivory color and I will be back. I'm going to start on the bottom and work my way up. I just find that that is easier, and I'm going to leave the very tips white, and I'm going to come up underneath this white band, and then our next color. And then we're going to leave another band of white. So just the very tips are going to be left white, and just kind of coming underneath this area and up a bit. Okay, this is how the tail is looking prior to any bleed proof white painted on, and I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'm going to pick a lighter color so my lightest color, which is the burnt ochre, and I'm going to put some feathers. This darker part on the foot is going to be the bister or medium. And then a little bit of the darker color. Okay, I have finished this bottom area. We will come back in with the bleed proof white to make sure that the white is nice and bright at the end. I have done some strokes underneath for the legs, and we're gonna now I have also gone and darkened up the areas around the eyes of the face and started to add some feathers around the neck area. So I have added all those in, and I'm going to come in all of these circled white areas. Let me zoom you in a titch. So I'm just going to add tiny marks because the feathers on the head are very small. And so you're going to always need to keep a very sharp pencil. That's all we're going to do for the head area, and these white areas are staying white. Let's move on and let's do the body. The body, these areas here are going to be, we're going to leave them white again. I could have made them the dark color, but I find it a little bit easier to reserve the white by having those areas there. Do a little bit of the dark. And then we're going to go into the light. Keeping your strokes very short. Now this is the lightest color that I have been working with. We'll come in with our darker color. Leaving some white areas to make it very distinct. Once I have the kind of the areas defined with the darker pencil, I can go in with the lighter browns to firm up the shapes. So this is our lightest color now. And I'm just going to follow along and fill in where I want it to merge into the brown, and remember we're still leaving white. Now we'll do the same on this side. So this is this half of the bird and this is the other half. So while these feathers will be going this way, these ones will be going that way. Let's bring in the bleed proof white. Just tapping in the white. Okay, we're going to let that dry a bit and we will continue on with the wings. Okay, we're going to start on our wings. I'm going to start with this first part here, which I envision is going to be lighter in color, right close. These are the smaller downy kind of feathers right here, so they'll be lighter in color. And then as we get out further, we'll have the bands of white, dark, and then the two other colors of brown. And hopefully this ends up looking good. And again, if we just kind of follow this down area, so we're going to have the white and then a dark, and then this will be white, and then we'll go all the way up. This top area, I'm just going to reserve a little bit of cream color. And then we'll come in with our lightest brown to make some small feathers. I'm always leaving the very tips white though, so I'm not coloring that, because we do know that that's what we want there. And our darkest color is the Van Dyke brown. Grab the bister. And then we've got our ochre. And we're still going just underneath this second white area. because then we're going to need to go back to the dark brown. Okay, you get the idea. I will continue with the stripes all the way up. Here's an update on how our picture is looking. We have got pencil along here with no bleed proof white as of yet, but I do have it here, and I will come back and add it to here once we're done, but this is how it's looking. So along with the spots where the illustrator has left the white, I have also added additional white banded areas along the feathers going up to the wing. So I'm going to continue that on this side, and then I will probably go ahead and finish this wing all on my own and come back when we are done, because it's pretty much just the same thing. I'm just doing the bottom area here is going to be white, so just kind of reserving the white there. So the very tips. And along here. And then right after the white we have our darkest color. So the darkest color is always right on the other side of the white, and that just helps the white pop. And I'm not going straight across. I'm making this so it's kind of an angled. So that is our darkest, and we come in with our next, so our mid-tone, and we continue that definition. And then we have our lightest color. And right after the lightest color, we're going to have white again. Okay, I'll finish this off and be back. So that's how it looks with just the pencil crayon. And let me bring in the bleed proof white. Very tiny amount of the bleed proof white needs to be added. Now this tiny area up here, we're just going to put in, just touch the paper lightly, just here and there, just to lighten it up a bit. That's how that wing is going to look. I will go ahead and finish off the rest of this owl, and I will be back to show you the completed page. Again, this is from Stephanie's Law Secret Worlds, and it's the last page in the book, and this is representing the February spirit animal for Aquarius. I'm happy with the page. Glad to be done another Stephanie Law page, because this I do find these pictures difficult to tackle, and happy that another one is done. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope to get a dolphin done also this month. Probably going to do more of a non-realistic dolphin though, so I may grab something from Lulu Mayo's book, and it may already be posted. I'm not sure exactly what day I'm posting this, but I thank you for coming along with me on learning more about the zodiac animals, and I hope to see you next month. Until then, take care and have a creative and colorful week. Bye-bye.